So, hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Saadiq, and it is the Demetra K Show, and we are live. I like to say the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're a great people, but we can always strive to do better. I like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are family, and sometimes we do share the link. All I ask is that if I share the link and your profile looks like this, please show me this. And then if you want to, you can go back to that. Just know that I am the only one that can see you before I bring you up to the big screen. Not even Donovan can see you. Just a couple of requests for those of us that are in the comment section and on the panel. Let's try to be as respectful as possible. It's not that we disagree, it's how we disagree. Of course, y'all know there's things that we can and cannot say on these other people's platforms. So let's just be cognizant of that. Because a lot of times people say, oh, you're not reading my comment, you're erasing my comment. And I'm not up here erasing comments unless it's just something egregious. The moderators might not ask moderators, give people a break. If they're not doing too much, don't put them in timeout or block them or anything like that. If they're being a bit annoying, that's okay. But if it's, too much, then yeah, we'll deal with it from that point. So today we're going to talk about some Black Americans don't see the need to talk about Trump and the Republicans. Now, admittedly, there's so much I could have talked about today, and I didn't want to talk about none of it. But I know that when I post things on social media, probably a couple of times a day, I'll have somebody say, well, why don't you ever talk about Trump and the Republicans? Right? And I'm like, my gosh. Oh, I know that Donovan and I have talked about that a copious amount of times as to why we don't spend a lot of time talking about the Republicans. So we're going to talk about that today. Of course, Donovan, he kind of has a clue as to what I'm talking about, but he's a smart guy. He'll catch on. Nevertheless, let's use in the comment section before I give it to Donovan. Let's see. Lawrence, how are you? Troy, Brother Reggie, how are you? Who else is on here? One who cares. Hope you're doing well. Casual 42 was going on. Mr. Jackson, how are you? Said the Blake Scott. Right. I be forgetting I'm behind there. Anyway. Janelle, how you doing? Ruth Tracker, how you doing? Sister Khadijah, hope you're doing well. And JB1, how are you? And I think I missed somebody that was up there. Christopher, how are you? And Kitty Hip Hop, hope you're doing well. Donovan, how are you today?
I am doing great, 93 degrees. So it is nice and cool here in Southern California at 93 degrees in the summertime. Okay, you guys, do not forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. 5 spots are still open, I would believe, going to Ethiopia. If you guys want to jump on that trip and go and see great things in Africa and the country of Ethiopia, 5 spots are available. You could download the African Diaspora News Channel app on Google Play, Apple Store. Download it, become a member, subscribe, become a member. I do the annual. I think that is the more economical option to do, but you guys can do what you like. If you guys don't want to download the app, you can still go on YouTube, subscribe, become a member, share it on your platforms. Another thing is that we have a problem with sometimes we'll join something and then we don't pass that information on, because if it was good enough for you, why wouldn't you want that information to go to a good friend of yours or somebody just to have to take a look at it and kind of, get it going. Also, if you guys see that little banner at the bottom of the screen, it's scrolling. That is a way you can contribute to the show and to help the content creator stay motivated to make these great programs and these great conversations that we're having. That's the way you can do it. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cash, money order, however you guys want to do it. We do not exchange weed for however they do it. You know what I mean? So, we don't do any of that, but we don't barter. That's what I was looking for, the word barter. We don't barter stuff. So this is going to be interesting. As usual, Demetra comes up with these great topics, and as usual, you guys come up with great comebacks and great content as well. I want to say hello to Miss Sweet Talks and Princess. She has this beautiful, beautiful dog. And King Norris Graves, always there supporting us. We appreciate King Norris Gray. Buckhouse DC is always here. Be Easy Dat Dude in the house. JBWR is here. And again, you guys, we thank you guys for tuning in with us, because there's a lot of places you guys can be. My fellow veteran, Damon Reeves, there's a lot of places you guys can be, and we appreciate the fact that you guys spend that time with us. So, Demetri, let's get into it.
This is Hey, Be Easy. How you doing? Long time no see. Say, is that a just for me kit? No, this is juices and berries. I'm telling y'all, one of these days, I'm going to show y'all how my hair looks after I wash it. I swear for God, y'all going to be like, what happened? This is just a lot of product. It's a lot of product. But no, I'm still natural.
You're not using, wait, you're not using a Gorilla Glue, are you?
No. I'm preserving what I got left on my hair for Afro season. It's a little too hot right now, okay? Hey, Brother Don, hope you're doing well. Patty Brown, what's going on with you? So anyway, let's get into it. So a lot of times people, like I said, if I post something, somebody gonna show up. And I know Donovan has the same issue. Why don't you ever talk about Trump? Why don't you ever talk about the Republicans? Well, somebody, basically said it. 2016, when Trump was first running, he got about 8% of the black vote. 2020, he got 12% of the black vote. Now, as I said, traditionally, Republicans rarely get anything above 15%, right? It's rare if they even get that close. Trump seems like he's like the only one that's coming into striking distance of really getting more votes as a Republican than most, right? Now, it should also be said that Democrats usually get anywhere from 80 to 90% of the black vote. That's just traditional, right? And even when Trump won in 2016, there was this complaint that it was the fault of black people. Now, again, Michelle Obama was one of those ones that were kind of vexed with black people because she felt like we didn't show up for Hillary like we did her husband. Well, black people showed up to the tune of about, I think they said, 89%, give or take, for that of Hillary. But the real culprit in that whole, thing was white women.
Yeah.
They voted for Trump to the tune of like 52% and Hillary 43%. They didn't show up for Hillary, but somehow black people get the blame. So back to the question as to why we don't really spend a lot of time talking about Trump is because with the numbers I just gave you, there's really no need to, because black people do not traditionally vote for Republicans, but black voters traditionally vote for the Democrats, right? The Democrats have gotten our vote for over the last 60 years, give or take, right? Without a doubt, they get our vote. Also, the Democrats benefit from the black vote. Black voters do not benefit from the Democrats. Now, I know that somebody's going to come up with some, but I'm talking about specifically, black people do not benefit from the from the Democratic Party. We just don't. So those of us that got a little sense, those of us that are a little bit more aware, we are questioning what's going on with the Democrats because we watch them give stuff to everybody else but black people. And again, we talked about this every time we come on here live. It's the migrants. It's the LGBTQ, of course. We know that Obama was known as the first gay black president, or gay president, right? Not that he was gay, but he did a lot of legislation for that community. He also did things for the migrants. The Israel is benefiting. The Afghans are benefiting. Everybody else you can think of is benefiting but black people. Again, black people help the Democrats do for everybody else. And so, as I said, those of us that are a little bit more aware are like, nah, we're not doing that, because even this time around, most of the black voters will not vote for Trump. Does he need just a little bit more of the black vote to be successful? Yep. Yes, because they don't traditionally get black votes. So that's why we don't spend a lot of time talking about Trump and the Republicans. Now, I will say this. When Trump was first running, and even when he was first became president in 2016, Donovan and I did take Trump to task. We're still not Trump supporters, right? But we've always said that if we are forced to choose between the lesser of two evils, then we are going to choose Trump even over Kamala, because a lot of y'all have got amnesia. All of a sudden, Kamala's at the top of that ticket. Now y'all act like she's the best thing since sliced bread with a government piece of cheese on there, right? Y'all done forgot about all the things that she is championed and not championed for Black people. And she's still the vice president of the United States, right? And a lot of times she says, oh, when I get into the White House, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Ain't you already in the White House? So what are you waiting on? So there's a lot of people who are mad that we are asking those very basic questions. What are we as Black Americans going to get for voting for the Democrats? So again, that's why some of us don't spend a lot of time talking about Trump and the Republicans, because it's kind of a waste of time at this point. I could be wrong. Donovan?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it straight on the nail. I mean, how can you talk about a candidate that has no policy? She has not articulated one bit what she's going to do. Now, remember when Joe Biden stepped down, you guys, and Kamala took to the podium and she was saying that Joe Biden, and I'm paraphrasing, Joe Biden did in one term what it would usually take 2 presidents to do in 2 terms. She was saying how great the Biden administration is, and it's one of the greatest administrations of all times and all this other stuff. Have you guys ever asked yourself, well, if that's the case, why is she distancing herself from the Biden-Harris policies? Think about that. If what she said as she was, kikiing to Joe Biden, her boss, a guy she basically called a racist, then she goes and joins him. If his thing was so great and his presidency was so great, why is she distancing herself from it? Now, I don't know if you guys follow sports. Stephen A. Smith. Okay, I'm not a great fan of Stephen A. Smith, whatever. Sports today is kind of milquetoast to me, the way, the kids are. You're making super teams. People don't want to compete, really. They just want to cheat. Everybody gets a participation trophy. Everybody's against the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, you guys too, America's team. If the Dallas Cowboys do not do good, America doesn't do good. Why won't you guys see that? But anyway, I digress to that. I'll have to go off. But anyway, I'm a suffering Cowboy fan, okay? I'm delusional. Okay, but my point is this. Even Stephen A. Smith, very liberal, bought off, in my opinion, guy, he is even saying she is not sitting down for interviews. Today, even CNN asked her managers and her handlers, hey, her going to these concerts isn't an interview. That's not how it is. So here we go with an empty suit. This person's an empty suit. And it's amazing, Demetra, because when we were calling out Kamala Harris, even the Boule back in 2019 did not really get behind Kamala Harris. They didn't get behind her. So all of a sudden, here's a woman who is in the White House right now. And when you do hear her talk at these concerts, it's always about when I get there, what I'm going to do. You're the border czar right now. You can close the border right now without Joe Biden's authority, because he gave you the authority. You can do things right now. Why do we have to wait for her to do these great things she's going to do when she gets into the White House? You're in the White House right now. But that goes to show you how they play in our faces, and how, as educated as we are as a people, men and women, they know all they have to do is, they don't even have to worry about the logic. All they got to do is worry about the emotion and play identity politics. Black men ain't this, Black women ain't that. That's all you got to do. And then you separate the group, and then they just fall apart. And that's what's happening here. And we're not calling out anybody individually or anything like that, but even the boule did not support them. So I had a friend today, I was at the gym. He's going to argue with me about the 2025 project and telling me how dangerous it is and whatever. And I'm just like, so what? So what? Even if 2025 was actually real, and some of it was actually, and it's already been implemented by Democratic presidents, by the way, some parts of it have been implemented by Democratic presidents, mainly one that's in the White House right now. Even if that's true, with all the guns in the United States, with all the violence and the apathy in the Black community, why is it that these educated people think that Black people are just going to roll over and be massively incarcerated for no reason, forced into the fields, and all of this root stuff that we see in the movie Roots? Like we're like our ancestors. We are not like our ancestors. And I told them, I said, so fear-mongering people, rather than giving them policy and an actual choice, it's just better to be scared and vote in fear versus asking legitimate questions. Asking legitimate questions is not the thing to do. I would support Kamala Harris if I knew what she stood for. You can talk about Trump all you want. He has a platform. He is showing you what his vision is. If you don't like his vision, don't vote for him. But how do you expect us to vote for a candidate that won't sit down for an interview, who constantly insults us, having Black women twerking their asses at a concert, and she doesn't talk about anything but word salad? It's amazing. As educated as we are, it's amazing how the talented ninth and all of us educated people keep falling for this BS. This is the same candidate that was there in 2019. But I will give her strategist credit. In 2019, when Joe Biden was running his bunker campaign, it worked. It worked. If you guys really look back on those days, Joe Biden really wasn't out there like that. He didn't do a lot of interviews. Even in his presidency, he didn't do a lot of interviews. This man spent almost 3 years as the president and barely spoke to the press. It works. But the thing is, how long are you guys going to sit there and settle for just whatever? We're at the bottom of the economic scale. The only way that we can get out of here is to make an intelligent choice based on policy and not identity politics. Her being a Black woman, even though her whole career she's identified as an Asian, is not enough for me to jeopardize my family, my children, and my legacy so that all these other people could come here and benefit from my vote.
Kimmy says the wash greens in the tub candidate. Yes, indeed. And I seen where did this comment go? A couple of people on here by Kamala supporters, and that's fine. And what I'd love to do is invite you up here, so you can tell us why you're a Kamala supporter. But this one here is funny. God saw beginning and knows end. Says it's Demetra jealous of Kamala because she's a red bone. Colorism is worse than racism, sexism, and any other discriminatory act. Kamala is the best option. Where did you pull that question from? I have an idea where you pulled it from, but I'm not going to say because I don't want to, be too spicy on here. But that's the best way I could put it is that is the average Kamala supporter right there. That's the average Kamala supporter. That's the kind of stuff they say instead of saying, well, I'm supporting Kamala because she is for this, that, and the other. The thing is, you don't know what she's for as the presidential candidate because as of this moment, she hasn't said what she's for. So y'all come up with stuff like, is Demetra jealous of Kamala because she's a red bone? I'm going to say this again. It's people like you that shouldn't be able to vote Because what you do is you go in the booth and mess up the rotation for the rest of us with your foolishness. I wish there was a test that you could just give people. Just give us 3 reasons why you're going in there. That's some good reasons, right? Not because somebody's jealous because they're a red bone. So I'm going to invite you to come up here. Saw a couple other people too. Come up here and explain to us with as much sense as you can as to why you're supporting Kamala. But this ain't it. All right, so let's see here. Who else came on here? Arami says Kamala as a woman. She took women's rights by allowing men and women's sports. She put innocent people in prison and refused to release them so she can use them as cheap labor. She forced women to get, is that the shot? Okay. And then Black America says that, Donovan, you're fear-mongering right now. Blacks are 14% of the population. They could make Black Americans do what they want. I mean, is it fear-mongering?
Wait. How is that fear-mongering? So you're saying 14% of the Black population, these people are just going to manhandle us and just make us, throw us back in chains. And you actually believe that? You actually believe that? You know nothing about the art of warfare. You know nothing about it, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I know it's political season, but it's also silly season. Hey,
very
Callie.
silly. Very silly. The modern age, there is nowhere on the earth slavery is legal in the United States. If you read 2025, if you read it, and I doubt that person has read it, because I'm not going to sit here and disrespect
Black America.
Oh, Black America. Yeah. Black America. I doubt if you read that. It's not based in logic. It's a theory. It's something of way back in the day. It could never be implemented. That's like saying, well, when Donald Trump gets in there, all Black people are going to be slaves and we're going to repeal the 13th Amendment. Okay. What do you think is going to happen when they repeal the 13th Amendment? It's going to be uncivil rest and carnage in the United States. We can't even get Black people to show up in general to work on time, and you talk about they're just going to cage us into places. It's not feasible.
Well, I'm glad you said it. Patrick, how you doing? Says these deep, wow, are tricky little animals, aren't they? Wow, I ain't heard that one before.
Well, I call them MAGA blue. Like you have MAGA red, Republican, you have MAGA blue. I want you guys to think about, as crazy as you thought in 2020 how the MAGA Republicans were, look at how the Democrats are acting now. They don't even respond to logic. Vote for her because she's a woman. That's not even logical. Vote for her because she's a Democrat. It's MAGA blue, MAGA red. There's no difference.
Yeah, and Tiff, how you doing? You make a good point. Says Trump was already president. Why didn't it happen then? And Kamala's vice president. She's right there with Biden. I'm sure she could call him anytime, any day, and say, "Hey, what about this?" But she gonna wait till she get in the White House. That reminds me of John McCain. He was like, "When I get in the White House, we're gonna go into the heels of Al Qaeda, and we're gonna get those." And it's like, you in the Senate now. Why don't you just do it now? What are you waiting on? If you know, or even if you know how to do it, hand over the blueprint to somebody else so they can get the job done. But they know most people just won't even think past that. They get caught up in the moment. They're just a couple of mavericks. That's what, John McCain and Sarah Palin and now Kamala and Walls, they are joyful warriors. Just strange. Debo Brown, how you doing? You got a rainbow up there? Okay. Wow, Williams, how are you today? Ben, what's going on? He says he means 14th Amendment. No, I think he meant 13th Amendment. JJ, how you doing? Says some of these Kamalas are glaring examples of I think you meant Kamala voters. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Yeah. It's just like, come on. Give me something other than that. That was just like, I don't even know how to answer that. I'm jealous because she's a red bone. Keith, he says, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I just feel the jab messed up Black people's minds. This is crazy. Some of them, the jab didn't do much to them. They was already kind of like that. ARE Radio, how you doing?
Wait. Was it the jab or it's all that weed that our group is smoking?
I think it's just willful ignorance. Don't want to know nothing different. My mama said, and my mama and them said that we Democrats and we gonna die Democrats, and we need to. That's all it takes. Like I said, I used to be a Democrat. Donovan's still recovering. So we're not sitting up here like we were always evolved. But after a while, when you open your mind, you get new information. You're gonna have to let it do what it do. But a lot of us, as they say, my people were destroyed for the lack of knowledge and the rejection of truth. So once you get the truth, you reject it. Nah, it's the truth. So I don't know, Lady Diane. I hope you're doing well. Child of God, how are you? Did I say hello to you already?
How much truth? Yeah, how much truth do you need after 80 years of voting for Democrat? You're getting poorer and poorer and poorer. How much truth do you need to realize doing the same thing over and over again is insanity?
Some people just don't know. Arson, how you doing? It says, hey guys, I never catch you on Tuesday. How are you? And to the one who mentioned jealousy and Demetria aside from the obvious ignorance, if anything, Kamala should. Oh, well, thank you. I don't. And it's just very weird. But again, those are the ones that be running around the World Wide Web, acting like they know everything, and they just saying the silliest stuff. I see stuff every day. Like I was at Target earlier, right? And there's this lady, I don't know if she was, but she looked like a streetwalker. And I said, every day I think I've seen it all. It's like a streetwalker is like 2:00 in the afternoon. I don't know. Maybe it's 24 hours, I guess. I don't know. But I'm like, the more and more I think that I've seen it all, I get proven wrong. And that comment right there was on the list. Let's see. Garuda, how you doing? Says Kamala is going to stop taxing tips. If she got that from Trump. Trump said that, but ain't nobody gonna call her out on stealing. She flat out stole that because before that, her and Biden was going after people. They need to make sure people pay their full share. They're not getting away with it. Now all of a sudden she's not gonna tax tips. She straight up stole that from Trump, and everybody's gonna run around here acting like she came up with it on her own. One of the only things that she said as policy-wise was something that she plagiarized from the dude she's running against. It's insanity. Debo says political speeches are pure theatrics, which the people fall for each and every time they are paid actors. Yep. It's like, go see for yourself if what they're saying is true. Brother Abdul, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. He says you guys are giving the people what they need to hear. Trust me, the truth. Yeah, I mean, and if we're wrong, we're wrong. We don't have a problem saying we're wrong. Oops, we said something we weren't supposed to say. We don't. Crystal, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. He says the couch or Trump. Yeah, that's just a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are saying, listen, leave me on the couch. I'm going to stay on the couch because I don't like either one of them. However, if you keep effing with me, then I'm going to get off the couch and I'm going to go vote for Trump. Like there's a lot of people, like the person who said that foolishness, going to make people out of spite go vote for Trump.
Well, here's my question to you guys. Why is it that we can't even realize they're playing in our faces when we want something, let's say reparations, but let's forget reparations, right? Let's put reparations to the side. We want better housing. Where you going to get the money? We want better food and, healthcare and all this. Where you going to get the money? But yet other groups come to this country and they find the money. They find the money and they just use the government credit card. They don't care. Somebody's going to pay for it down the road, right? And we just sit here watching everybody else eat. It's almost like if you're in New York and you're at or Chicago or whatever major city and you're window shopping. You ever been to one of those restaurants where you could kind of look in and see the people eating in the high-end restaurants? That's how I feel looking at these illegal migrants. They're eating good while we're out here going like this. Oh, wow. Man, look at that. It's really nice in there. Man, they get free food. They get free housing. And we just sit there and we're just, did we forget who we are? We're the only group in the world that fights white supremacy on a daily basis. Why do you think these other groups come here? Because we will kick in the door about what's ours. But the funny thing is these other groups come here and we're so welcoming to them, we don't even realize that person that we're welcoming is the person that's stabbing us in the back. It's sad.
Oh no, absolutely. Let's see who else came on here. Yeah, Arson, I know what you meant. You said Tuesday, but you meant Wednesday. But I thought maybe because you weren't here yesterday. I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad that you are here today. And Negro should say, what about Dr. Shiva? And who is that? I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. Tanza, how are you doing? It says VP Kamala. Wish she have your I don't know. It was just really an odd comment. Very odd. Lady Diana, you said she won't do a thing about nothing. She can't even answer a straight question. A friend, right? A friend in need is a friend indeed. Yeah, because I forget where they were, but her and another leader somewhere were being asked a question, and she had no idea. She looked, a friend in need is a friend indeed. And he was looking like, what the hell is funny? Like, answer the question. Herman, he said, I think the Dems are going to rig the election to get her elected. Call me crazy. I'm thinking that is the play. I don't know.
Wait a minute. You think that they're going to rig the election? I think they've already done that.
Say it again. You kind of froze up. Say it again because you kind of froze up.
I think, yeah. I think they've already done that. They've rigged the election before, so it's possible that they can do it again. It's possible.
More threads. How you doing? Thank you once again for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. He says, hey, Dimitri and Donovan, we are in here deep lately. You guys have been speaking nothing but the truth about this election. And you know what? We appreciate y'all being here because, as I always say, we can't do this without y'all. It is never our goal to be misleading or lie or anything like that. We just want y'all, because we learn every day the other side of the story. And that's especially, because one thing I remember, Donovan and I used to critique Trump all the time. And he used to say stuff like the mainstream media, the media. But that wasn't a new idea. Malcolm X was always talking about, the media, how they be lying and stuff. But now that you see, especially with the election, is like, they're not going to tell you the whole story, which is why new Black media is important, because we're going to give it to you what you haven't been getting. Like, we've been told the Democrats are the party for Black people. They're good. They do this, that, and the other. But we're here to say, nah. What have they done for us specifically? Then you have to say, well, nothing. They've not done anything specifically for us. What have they done specifically for everybody else? Well, they've done a lot. But you're not going to hear that on the regular media, or Roland or Ricky or DL or Joy or any of those other people that are, obviously Democratic shills. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you from the talking points that they got. So absolutely. Let's see. I'm going to open up this link. Hey, Easy, how are you? Hope you're doing well today. Let's see who else came on here. These comments be hopping up really fast. Bogani, how you doing? Long time no see, and I hope you're doing well as well. Did I miss some comments? I know that I did. Let's see. Michael, how are you? Says Trump's an actor too. They all be acting. It's kabuki theater for a reason, right? They're all acting. They're all pretending like they care about you, and all they want to do is get in there and get in power. I don't know if y'all heard, but Mayor Sylvester Turner, he used to be the mayor of Houston. He is going to be going up against, I guess, the Republican candidate in Sheila Jackson Lee's seat. She passed away recently, so they selected him. They selected him. Why? Power hungry.
We have 3 generations of adults since the civil rights movement, right? People have come of age. And you mean to tell me they could not find a younger, more dynamic, unapologetic candidate to go up against the Republican nominee? There's something about that generation where they just don't, they're going to drive this country into the ditch, and they don't give a damn. It's sad.
Right. Foundational Buck, Broken American. Okay. How are you? I don't even know how to respond to that name. JC says, I love Trump's immigration policy. Yeah, he said that, when you first get up in there, 1 million of them got to go. Hey, brother Stephen, hope you're doing well. Tell your wife we said hello. You say, it's a shame we keep falling for the okie doke. Yep. And gonna keep falling for it until we can't fall no more. Let's see who else came on here. Montrese, how you doing? Says, giggles, that's all we get. Yeah, you get joy. Kamala's bringing the joy back. Do y'all feel happy about the state of Black America? Are you joyful? You feeling giddy and warm inside, Donovan?
What I don't understand is even the boule, even the sororos. I know, that they're going to funnel a lot of money to them and all this other stuff. But even some of my friends that are fraternity people, I'm like, you guys act like you guys are going to get some magical money in your pocket if this woman gets elected. You're not going to get a damn thing. You're not at the HBCUs anymore. You're a graduate of one, but you're not at the HBCUs anymore. So why are you getting so excited about this woman possibly being elected? There's 50 chance she could be elected. You're not going to get anything out of it. Just the symbolism of, oh, we got AKA sorority incorporated up there. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Hello, Miss Jackson. Hope you're doing well. Long time no see you. Says, hey, Demetri and Donovan, will either of you be coming to Chicago to cover the godforsaken DNC? We thought about it. I thought about it, but I heard there's going to be so many obstacles to even get near it. I think they said they're going to have people push back about 3 miles away from it. They're also
on the waterfront. Yeah, you guys are going to be near the waterfront. Yep.
Yeah, and then Jessica, they're trying to, I guess, mitigate the whole, because they got migrants going in there all the time, and Governor Greg Abbott from here, Texas, was like, and I'm gonna send some. I'm sending a whole bunch of immigrants to the DNC. Why they having the convention next week? He says, I'm sending a whole bunch of migrants, and so they're like, but we're gonna be ready for it and all this other stuff. I'm like, but y'all ready to take the migrants, but you're not ready to help American people or Chicagoans? It's crazy. I really do hope Greg Abbott send just planes and bus loads. Not because, I know that sucks for y'all, but, there's a DNC having their convention. They should be able to see the devastation that they have caused. They being Kamala and Biden. All right, so let's see here. Somebody else asked me a question on here. Yeah, okay. Joey, how you doing? Says, why should I vote for a liar? It says, if a man or a woman, I think it meant me as a voter, I would never vote for a woman that in a particular position. Comment kind of got messed up. Anyway, welcome. Yeah, Montrese says she did plenty for Asian Pacific, Asian Pacific Islanders. Yes, indeed.
See, the thing about that, everybody knows what she did for the AIP and the gays and all that other stuff. If she is unapologetic about that, and you guys know she's on record, even before she's even president, giving allegiance to Israel unequivocally, and then talking about peace, brokering a peace deal. How do you broker a peace deal and you're arming the aggressor? To see how they talk out of both sides of their mouths. It doesn't make any sense. And we're like, yeah, peace. And they just want you to get these sound bites. But we all know what the Democrats and the Republicans are doing. We all know, and we see it because they're playing in our face, right? And we're all cool with that. Why is it that we're cool with that, but we're also cool with getting nothing? Then the average reaction, if you have 2 children, right? Especially to you moms out there, doesn't matter if they have different fathers or not like that. Any man, and I understand certain things, if it's your child, you want to do with your child, certain things. But any man, you don't separate children if it's your child or not. If you're going to give a child a lollipop, you give them all a lollipop, right? That's the common nature of what you're supposed to do. Why is it that we won't stand for that to happen, but here we are being disparaged and getting unequally yoked, and we just say, okay, no problem, boss, no problem. It's not the normal way to react to a situation.
Yes, indeed. It's thundering really bad out here. It's weird. It just came from nowhere. And Miss Danielle, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says the Biden administration is fast tracking 11 million illegals to citizenship so they can vote in November 2024. And thank you for the donation. Love and appreciate it.
And how are they doing that? I mean, they technically can't vote, but he's legalizing them by executive order. He's legalizing them by executive order. They can't necessarily vote, but they do have rights as in far as getting benefits and all of that other stuff.
Yeah, and 70 DRC, how you doing? It says, whatever color Kamala is, the debate will tell all. I see Trump smashing her in debates, then she will be done. The Divine Nine, the AKAs will not save her, and they're mobilizing as well. Like I said, Trump just needs to ask her one question in regards to Black Americans. Where is your plan for Black America? I have one. Why don't you have one? I'm a white man. Y'all call me racist, and I'm this, and I'm that. But I have a plan for Black America. Again, it's not enough, but he has one. I would say, why is it that you, a Black woman, right? Why don't you have a plan for your people? And I wouldn't say nothing else. A friend in need is a friend in need.
If you got something to say to me, say it to my face.
Right, like, they wow. She told us, say it to my face. Well, first of all, you got to sit down to an interview, a debate or something. You ain't did that. So it's like you just walking tall and talking tough for no reason, Kamala. Knock it off. You ain't about that life. Because one thing about Trump, and I love the art of debate. One thing about Trump, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to answer a question ever. I'm never going to answer it the way you want me to. But what you're not going to do is get spicy with me without me giving it back to you. So hopefully, I don't know. It's going to be
the disrespect toward Black men that some Black women give toward Black men. That reporter thought she can just talk to Trump any old way, and Trump was not having it. And I wasn't like happy that it happened like that, but she brought that on herself.
She did. I saw her give a report about him the other day, and she was still salty, But I would say the media is definitely they're in the fix. They're all, for the most part, with the exception of Fox News and a couple other ones, they're extremely against Trump. Like the headlines, and I saw somebody say that Kamala's campaign have been found guilty, if you will, of fudging the headlines, making it seem like she's doing more than she is. And I saw that before I came on here, which I'm not surprised, because to me it's like everything is going your way. Like there's nothing bad, nothing negative. Even though a month ago your numbers were in the toilet, now you're perfect.
Yeah, matter of fact, before we came on air, CNN had to retract their thing. They reported yesterday that she's like 4 points ahead in the swing states and stuff. They had to retract that today. So it goes to show you they're putting their thumb on the scale, because if people actually believe it, MAGA Blue actually believes it, they're going to believe it. But see, they were basically heading on the same trajectory as what happened to Hillary. Everybody, she can't be beat. It's going to be inevitable. They gave Trump all of this press. Notice they're not giving Trump a lot of press right now. And he's still beating her. But the look on the Hillary supporters' face when the numbers came in, it was something to die for. I couldn't believe it.
Benjamin, how you doing? He says, so Republicans are sending more migrants. That's what Greg Abbott said. He said, I'm sending them. That they're the ones that open the border, so why should we deal with them? Send them over there while they're having their convention and let them deal with it. So y'all hear that thunder? It's loud. So let's see. And Tiffy says she didn't acknowledge AKA during her last inauguration. Well, before that, if she was running for president, she was strolling with her chucks and pearls, and all of that. So I don't know, maybe that's acknowledgement. Reality said it's a mess here in New York. The migrants took over the food pantries. Yeah, that's what they were telling us yesterday on here. And Garuda, you say escape from Chicago. Yeah, y'all hold the line. I'm gonna do a video about that. Y'all need to hold the line in those areas where they have done that to y'all. And Ali says Obama will be speaking at the convention on Tuesday. Let me mark my calendar.
Is that supposed to help the Democrats? Because see, Demetra, they need to hire us. I'm telling you, they need to give us that money. Because the last thing I would do is ask Obama, especially when I need the black vote, to speak at the DNC. I don't know any black person that I know of, even the ones that are still hardcore Democrats. They can't defend the fact that Obama didn't do nothing for black people and he was the president. I would not let this man speak, and I'm trying to get the black vote.
Well, they know they don't have to justify that or anything. They don't have to, because, you know, black people are willing to put Kamala in office, and at least Obama didn't say it with his chest. I'm not doing nothing for y'all now, but Kamala did, and black people are still, you know, a good amount are still willing to send her to the White House, and she's told us, "I bet you I won't. You'll die waiting for me to do anything specifically for you." So, you know, why not put Obama up there? It's just still a lot of old, you know, older ladies are still in love with Obama. More 30 says, Donovan is not lying. I went out with a fraternity member recently and attended the AKA event. Most of them care more about the image than anything. They all about feeling good, but no economics. Yeah, I was flying out to New Orleans last year for my birthday, and it was, I guess, the AKA convention there as well, and they were all in their pink and green and white, getting on Spirit. We was we was all flying Spirit. Yeah, they're really big on their image. I will say that, really, really big on their image. But I don't know anything else really about them other than that. Mr. Coffee, how you doing? Says, I live in Chicago. We have been getting 20 to 25 busloads of illegals every day. The media won't cover this. Oh, I know, because, you know, we hear about it a lot. We know people in Chicago, and we do hear about it. So I'm telling y'all, hold the line. Do not let them flip y'all over, because y'all really are setting the pace for the rest of, for a lot of Black Americans. We actually draw inspiration from y'all. Y'all said y'all was flipping it red. You guys will no longer be taken for granted. You know, Mayor Brandon Johnson there, he's just like giving y'all his whole booty to kiss, you know, after he lied to y'all about how he was going to, you know, do for the Black community. And he's not done that. So y'all cannot give up, because they are going to try to go and flip you, you know, convince y'all to give Kamala, another chance. But y'all see what she's done, you know, under Biden. So imagine what she's going to do when she's at the top. It's going to be worse.
And you know what's crazy too, you guys? We are coming into the era of the one-term candidate, because people have had enough of these people sitting there for 30, 40 years doing absolutely nothing. Brandon Johnson, even though in less than 4 years, he's done all that damage to Chicago with Democratic approval, because Chicago is a Democratic stronghold, that Illinois it is what it is. You are now seeing the rise of the one-term candidate. If you get in there and you ain't doing what you're supposed to, at least in the Black community, your Black ass is coming out of there.
Yeah, you're right. We are seeing those one-term ish, but that's the way it's supposed to be. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, yeah, if Mayor Johnson get another term, I'm moving to Mars. Because I will, because I would just be in disbelief that, because he got in there on the backs of the Black vote. Okay, so if he gets in there again, that means Black voters fell for the okie doke once again, and he is just unapologetic about how he's done Black Chicagoans. He just don't give a damn. So if he get back in there, I don't even know. You know, I don't even know what to say. Joanne says, Kamala's fiending being Black is like a fiend or a virgin on your wedding night. Kamala, all the she's every woman, hint the song. Yeah, I've heard it all. Avenge the Ancestors, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Connell, how you doing? He says, I think World War III is coming. Racism, sexism, financial stress, and homosexuality, humor. I don't even know if that's a typo or what. He says, all in violent form, the Most High when, well, we already kind of going through that right now. I mean, I don't know if you're paying attention to what's going on in the Middle East, but that is, it's volatile. It's about to combust any moment. You got, what is it, Iraq, Iran, talking about they firing on Israel. Is not if, it's when. Okay, so it's a lot.
And then while we're looking at the Middle East, China is going to take back Taiwan, which is still technically part of China, saying they want to take that island now. As a matter of fact, the Defense Department has moved 2 aircraft carriers into the region, minus the bases we already have in Okinawa, Korea, and mainland Japan. So things are about to get pretty spicy. And I'm not saying anything because you don't have to be some kind of war experienced person, but do you actually think if World War III starts kicking off, this woman who has never been an executive in an executive position, this woman who has never really had experience making decisions, you guys want her in the White House having to make a decision on who lives, who dies, how do we intervene, how do we do this, how do we do that? Me personally, I can't see it. A person who slept her way to the top, that's her experience of sleeping on her back. I just can't see it.
My goodness. Agolf Twiddler, how you doing? It says Donald's no tax for tips allows CEOs and hedge fund managers to classify their bonuses as tips to avoid paying taxes on billions of dollars for the richest 1% of Americans. Harris's doesn't. I mean, I guess I can see that, but this is my thing. I've always said this, and Donovan has said this. Listen, I don't care. You go to office and you get the little white envelope and you become richer because most politicians do. Let's just keep it real, right? I don't care if you do that. But if you go and you get rich and you don't help everybody else, that is the problem. As I've always said, and Donovan's always said, Trump's people don't got a color. The only color they do got a color is green, okay? His people are the rich. So we know he's going to do for the rich, right? But at least everybody else, the person that's working at, I don't know, Red Lobster or whatever, they're going to benefit as well. So that don't bother me. That they're, I hope one day to be in that 1% and I'm getting, I'm getting some help. Okay, great. But yeah, it should be helping everybody.
Right. And I'm going to show you how lucrative it is. Cori Bush, who just got defeated in her primary, right now, she is worth $10 million. And she was borderline poor when she initially ran as a Black Lives Matter candidate, whatever. She's only been in Congress about 7 years. How does she go from almost nothing to $10 million, property? I think it's like 10 acres. She has a bunch of acres in Maui where they had that big firestorm, and one of the biggest mansions in St. Louis. Explain that. And she did nothing for her constituents, which is why she is out of office.
Yeah, Ilhan Omar, she barely kept her seat. Andre, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. He says, I bet our Black ancestors are turning over in their graves listening to this. We have a Black female running for president, and yet some Black folks would rather vote for a white convicted felon, who would have certainly owned slaves and raped our Black women during slavery. Doesn't matter who the president is. We as Black people are our biggest problem. Case in point is this conversation. Kamala will not screw this country up any more than it is already. To hell with red and blue, and now your comment cut off. Donovan, I see you itching for a scratch.
Have you guys heard of the Kamalification of America? You want to see what Democratic policy looks like? Look at the state of California. Back in the 1970s, everybody wanted to come to California. Everybody wanted to come. It's the Golden State. Democratic policy. Come to California, you're going to see homelessness. The median house is $800,000 and it's a shack. Unemployment everywhere, illegal immigration. So you mean to tell me that you are not concerned that a woman who had no problem planting evidence and taking people's freedom away from them and tainting evidence, and all these cases were messed up because of her, not taking it, locking up single mothers because their kids are truant? You don't think it matters that this woman, if she is president, would not continue the Biden-Harris policy on steroids, which is what it would be, and turn the rest of America into what California looks like right now? Something to think about.
And I just want to jump on this. Mr. Hawkins says, I bet our Black ancestors are turning over in their graves listening to this. You know what? I bet our Black ancestors are turning over in their graves saying, damn, some of us had our lives taken from us, and these so-called descendants have not moved the ball since civil rights. See, I always say civil rights is a false idea, because we thought we were moving on up as Black people. And listen, I'm not mad at them. I'd imagine going through what they went through was horrible. But our ancestors thought, okay, well, if we could just be with white people and all this other stuff, our life will be better. It dilapidated our communities. But you know what? At least our ancestors went in that booth and they did something. We have not moved the ball since. And I know y'all can't see my face. I need this up there so I can see it. We have not moved the ball since. So they're rolling over because y'all go and tell that lie. Our ancestors died for the right to vote. No, they didn't. They died for us to get something for the vote. They didn't die so we can go in there and get a sticker and get all up on social media talking about I voted. They like, sucker, what did you get for that vote? It's been since the 60s since Black people have done anything like to even talk about. And as far as we have a Black female running for president, yet some Black folks would rather vote for a white convicted felon. First of all, what she is in question. Now, she says she Black. We gonna go with that. But you know how many Black people we got in office that ain't did a damn thing for Black people? You know how many Black people we got in office and saying, yeah, I'm gonna do A, B, C, and D. And they stay in there 30, 40, 50 years. Sheila Jackson Lee, who was a congresswoman here, died on the seat. And there's a lot of Black people say, I'm not better off because she was in that seat since the 90s. I'm not better off. But she was a Black woman. She was, I'm going to go up there and champion, the HR 40, which is the study of reparations. But we ain't heard nothing about that in the last couple of years. So what does it matter if she's a Black woman? And Kamala, out of her own mouth, who says she's a Black woman now, I'm not doing nothing that's just going to benefit Black people. No, but we, including you, Andre, take the blinders off your eyes, have seen her and Biden do for the migrants, the Afghans, Ukraine, Jews, and everybody else you can think of. Like I said, they make it possible for men to be women and women to be men on the taxpayers' dime, and Black people can't get nothing. And you sitting up here talking about our ancestors, you should be quiet. And that's why I say you one of those people too that should not go to the booth with all that goddamn emotions in your thumb thugs, because you don't know what you're talking about, and you get up on this social media and try to shame Black people who are saying, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to vote for more of nothing. But you banking everything you got on a Black woman who has not even said she was that until recently. You a grown Black man in America talking like that. And as far as us being our biggest problem, no, you are our biggest problem, because there's Black people who are trying to wake up, and you ain't no better than white supremacy, because white supremacy knows when we are asleep, then they are better off. You're mad at the progress of Black people that are waking up and starting to think for ourselves, and you can't stand it. So as far as her screwing up this country, she already screwing it up. She's already in office with Joe Biden. This ain't going to be a new job for her. The presidency will be, but she's right there. Any and everything that she says she wants to do, she could do right now. She just go walk her ass next door to Biden and say, hey, get my people a check. But she already said she wasn't going to do that. So what are you talking about?
Anyway. Well, there it is. I mean, and it is upsetting, because it's one thing, how can I say this with trying to be politically correct? Gone are the days where you see white people coming up on the platform and actually fighting us. It's our own people that are fighting us based on the fact of ignorance. And when I say ignorance, I don't mean that in a derogatory fashion. I mean ignorant in the word of what it means. You don't have enough information to understand what you're doing. It's our own people that fight us harder, and yet we give facts or we give our presentation of what we believe, and they can't come back with anything but guilt shaming.
Yeah, and as I said, mad at other Black people because we're like, we waking up. We don't want to continue voting for more of nothing. And Andre, I know that you're in finance. You're not going to advise your clients to invest in nothing. Oh yeah, put all your money in this investment, to this stock, and it's been tanking for the last 60 years. It's been tanking. There's been no ROI. There's been nothing in this particular stock. But go ahead and put all your money in it. You wouldn't tell your clients to do that. So why would you tell Black people to continue walking into a booth and get nothing for it? Nobody else does that. I always talk about it, me and Donovan both. When white people, send somebody to office, white people, Asians, Hispanics, when they send somebody to office, they like, listen, sucker, you got one time to get up in there and don't do nothing for the people who sent you there, because the next time around, your ass is coming up out of there. So their people go to office and do something specifically for them. But it's us that lie on our ancestors and send people to office because they Black. Maxine Waters is a very Black woman. James Clyburn is a Black man. All these so-called Black leaders. And what do we have to show for it? A fish fry, twerking, old ass Maxine. And see, you got me cussing now. She's not too long ago, she sat up there with Megan Thee Stallion talking about the audacity of WAP. Oh, that's bold, that the audacity of WAP. Maxine, you got a DOP. You shouldn't even be talking about no WAP. There's other things you should be talking about. And then y'all talking about Trump. Maxine Waters, when she became the head of the what was it, Donovan, the finance committee.
Yeah, the finance committee, banking.
She was I'm gonna hold Trump accountable. Everybody, Maxine.
Couldn't get his taxes. Could not get his taxes to save her life.
Did she try? Maxine was walking tall and talking tough. She knew damn well she wasn't going at the Trump, but y'all don't say nothing about her. She had the power to do something, and she didn't do nothing. So, I don't know. Tanza, you say, my son is about to return to college for his junior year. I'm so happy he declined from joining the fraternity because it doesn't represent nothing but popularity, has no benefits. Yeah, when you have knowledge of self, you don't do those type of things. And no shade to the fraternities and sororities, but I don't know. I could never join. Yeah, like I said, I got too much knowledge of self. Feed Funkerson, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Negro says Putin for president. Oh, I don't know about that one. Star Child says, how long do these sellouts think that little money is going to last? And Al says, Byron and Hillary will be speaking Monday. Bill will be speaking with Kamala on the last day. Just old fogies, all of them, old fogies that do not like Black people, but they need Black people to show up for them.
Yeah, but have you guys noticed the difference between the Republican convention and the Democratic convention? The Republicans are always cycling new candidates for people to look at. They bring up new people. It's very rare the Democrats do it. And you're going to bring up Hillary and Bill, and these people did so much adverse things to Black people, calling us super predators. It was under Bill Clinton that signed the Reformation Act of the welfare and child support system that incarcerated so many Black people. Do you guys realize, and I'm not trying to make this a big thing, but we are not a debtor nation. You are not supposed to go to jail because you owe people money. Under Bill Clinton, because let's talk about this, our grandfathers and people before them had side chicks and side families and all that other stuff and didn't pay one damn red cent of child support. They grandfathered themselves to not be subjected to this new rule, right? How many non-custodial parents were incarcerated because they couldn't pay their child support, lost their jobs, lost their livelihood, did all of this stuff? Do you guys know that idea was from the Heritage Foundation? That was an idea of the Heritage Foundation that was implemented by a Democratic president, a Democratic House. Sad.
Black America says, Miss D, the point of getting rich is not to help others. That's not true. There's a lot of people who are rich and they help others. So may not be the point for some, but it's the point for some, right? And Danya, how you doing? And see, FM, how you doing? It says D Minion. It says AI wrote that. Is that what that is? And Rosande, how you doing? It says, remember what she said to FBAs, I'm not going to do anything specifically for Black people. No. Yeah, don't y'all ever forget that. She said that. Zach, how you doing? It says, someone said they're voting for Kamala because she doesn't qualify for reparations. I'm out. That's very odd. Amen. Oh, Genesis and Revelations. He says, Fonnie and Nathan, black jobs. You crazy. The Viper, Nick, how you doing? It says Democratic Party is the party of slavery. Alex said, someone told me during election season of Black people know how to destroy the country. So Black people know how to destroy the country during election season? Rain, how you doing? It says Kamala's father's side of the family owned slaves. Yep, that's what I heard. Jessica, he says, there you go, Donovan. Look at California. Yep, it is really acting a fool out there. William Stacy, how you doing? Says she's Indian, not Black, sir. Well, you know, that she says she Black. Like I said, she could be purple. What is she gonna do for us, right? And Otis, how you doing? It says Black first, cut the check. Yep. And our neighbor, it says Omar won because her people were on code. We can learn a lot. Yes, you are absolutely right. Because her people are like, we're not voting for Biden and Kamala. Because we don't like what they're doing over there at Gaza. So they're saying we're gonna, vote non-committed.
Right. And you guys also got to remember this. Other groups, when their politicians don't do what they're supposed to do, they get them out of there, right? What do you think January 6th was about? What do you think that was about? That was a message that was sent to those politicians. Jeff Howley and all the politicians got right back in line. And now they're calling the insurrectionists hostages because they know, oh, dang, I better do, whoa, this is some serious stuff. There was consequences to be dealt with, and that message was sent. Yes, some people went to jail, but look how quickly they got back on code with the people that sent them to Washington.
Yep. Ooh, I'm behind in these comments. And Jonathan, how you doing? He says Andre Shane, Black. Her father is Aryan Indian, Irish born in Jamaica. And her mother is Brahmin Indian. Do your research. Nah, they don't want to do research, and that's
Jamaica how is a nationality.
Right. Yeah. Montrese says no upward mobility for the collective. And Tito, how you doing? Says she's not a sister. Yep. Wake us up. How you doing? Says our ancestors are turning over in their graves that we are allowing the Democrats and the evil slave owner's granddaughter to pretend she's Black. Yeah, and he got, like I said, no shade to Andre at all. I know he's probably operating from the knowledge that he has, but we got to wake up. It's like, come on now. Mad because we don't want to vote for more of nothing. Listen, I told my daughter this today. I said, I wish that Kamala would give me a good reason to vote for her. I wish she would, but she hasn't. Nothing for Black Americans. She hasn't done that. So, but there's people who are mad at us because we're not going for it. She may win. I don't know. She very well may win. But I'm not going to vote for her. And that's my right not to do that.
I was talking to a friend of mine that works in HR, Demetra, and I asked her, as we're sitting here debating this about Kamala, and I said, you're an HR person. So I said, if you ask me for a resume and I give you a blank piece of paper, would you hire me? She said, no. I said, that's exactly what we're talking about when we're asking Kamala Harris for her policy. I can't hire you if I don't know what your background is and your goals and all this other stuff. You know what she told me? I'm still voting for Kamala.
Right. Jessica says, question, Demetra, do you think attaining civil rights was about being able to be around white people, or they wanted to get out of Jim Crow segregation? I think it was both, because you and I both know that before civil rights, and I know they were segregated, which wasn't bad in hindsight, right? And segregation wasn't bad, because we had all our own stuff. Now we're trying to be separate, right? Because we saw what integration did to our community. It dilapidated it completely. And it was really at the root of it, as Dr. Claude Anderson so eloquently describes, to get the Black dollars, because they were suffering. And they're like, hey, Black people got their stuff together. They got their own communities, this, that, and the other. And they really just needed our money, and they've been getting it ever since. So I think it was about both. And that we've been conditioned even from the plantation that white is better. No matter what it is better. So if I could just be close to it or near to it and they accept me, I can eat at their counters, as Donovan say, eat their seasonless soup, then I would have made it, right? So I think it was about both. Just to be clear. And D Davis, how you doing? Let's see who else came on here because we are about to get out of here. Oh, I'm so far behind in these comments. Yikes. Biz, how you doing? Says Kamala doesn't have decades of dead ancestors in America. I think mine is dancing for see the BS. Yeah, but but people don't know that. They're trying to connect her to the struggle of Black Americans, and she's not connected to the struggle of Black Americans. She's just not. She gone to Black colleges and things like that, and been around Black people? Sure. So is Eminem. Does it make him a Black American? You know what I mean? I don't know. So we just really got to do our research and stop getting mad at everybody because they have their own opinion. I'm not voting for Kamala, and I said I'm not voting for Trump, but if y'all keep pushing me, I'm gonna take my ass in that booth and I'm gonna vote for him, and I'm gonna tell y'all I'm doing it because my heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. Herbert, how you doing? Says, yep, he should stop talking. Let's see here. Lady Lemuria says, how can someone slap you in the face and tell you she just gave you the best kiss of your life? Well, Andre says, you misunderstood me. Andre goes to work, not depending on the White House. And as everybody should, right? You should depend that. See, that's the other fallacy. Black people asking for reparations, usually asking for a handout. Andre, you wouldn't take your ass to work and work for free. As I gave that example last week, if you time payday is payday, and you go to the office to get your check. Now I know they do direct deposits now, but work with me here, right? You go to the office and get your paycheck, and your boss says, "Well, you're not getting paid for all that labor that you did. We're not going to pay you. It's free. It's a handout. Anything else is a handout. If you keep asking for your paycheck, it's a handout. You would turn that mug out, but." Our ancestors did not get their handout. They didn't get their reparations, and we want it. We want it because Massa's children, they got it and they still getting it. Ain't nobody telling them they got a handout when they didn't have their hands in the cotton fields picking no cotton, no tobacco, none of that. Nobody telling them that. But us, I go to work. See, that's a very uppity comment to make. Basically saying you in words, just y'all need to get to work. Yeah, we're going to go to work and we want a check too.
Right. Now, isn't it funny that, we could bring that situation up, but how many of you guys know that not only did the AAIP community got a protection bill, Kamala also made sure they got money. Read that bill. Why is it? What is that, a handout? Is that something to be ashamed of? No. They got money for something that really wasn't a situation, a bad situation. The Justice Department says the most discriminated group of people in the United States are Black people, but they got protection and we didn't. And not only did Kamala sit there and watch the bill get signed, she ensured that they got $30-something billion to help them start businesses and other things of that nature. But that wasn't blown up in the press. See, because like I said, you want to hide something from a Black person? Put it in a book, put it in any type of reading material. Black people will not read. We go and we listen to Joyless Reed and we say, oh yeah, that's a fact. Joyless Reed told me that, so whatever. No, go read it for yourself. They not only got protection, they got resources and money.
Joey says, Dimitri, am I making too many typos? I don't see any of my chats up on the board. Thank you. I'm putting up what I see. And I'm not putting up everything because it's so many of them on there, but I am seeing all of your comments. Damien, how you doing? It says, no vote will go to Trump. Don't forget it. A no vote? No, that's not true. No vote is a no vote. Stop. See, y'all need to. We're about to get out of here. I don't have time to really be on one again. But y'all got to knock that off. Like, think for yourself. What's wrong with thinking for yourself? Like I tell you guys all the time, I suck at math. I don't know how I passed math in high school and college. I don't know. But I do know that a no vote is a no vote. Because in that same vein, a no vote could also be a vote for Kamala. Because otherwise, you're just assuming I was going to vote for Kamala. I ain't never told you that. So how is that a vote for Trump? Like, really, come on, y'all got to start being logical. Y'all too emotional. I don't think emotional people should vote. I think they should just lock your doors on election day so y'all can't come out the house and F up the rotation for everybody else. I don't think you should be able to do that. All this vote blue no matter who and MAGA, that doesn't make any sense.
MAGA blue and red. There's no difference in how you guys are reacting to how other people want to vote. There's no difference between MAGA red and blue, except that you guys have different D and an R. You guys are reacting the same exact way. Irrational.
Yeah, like just think. Oh my God, if you would just think, it would be. Andre says, please don't misquote me. I'm not mad at your thoughts. I could care less. I'm listening because you're Black and I respect you guys as people. Settle down. We respect you too. We're just having a conversation, but we are past the point of being shamed because we not voting for Kamala. I'm sorry. I was born to think. I was taught to think. My mama and daddy, stepdaddy were thinkers. So I intuited my ancestors, and I would not be trading by not thinking. I'm a thinker. I don't go along with the get along or we voting blue no matter who. Kamala's a Black woman and all this other stuff. So, listen, because she got a bathtub full of greens don't mean that she gonna do something for you. Okay,
that's right there tells you she's not a Black woman. A bathtub full of greens. Ain't no Black person cleaning no greens in no tub where people got their stinky, crusty ass, stank ass feet at the bottom of the dang tub.
And with a toilet in there. You know what I mean? I don't know. We love you too, Feet Funkers, and we really do. We love every last one of y'all. Let's see. We're going to get out of here. I just want to acknowledge anybody that I have not acknowledged so far. And if I skipped you, I'm sorry. I'll try not to do that again, but I am looking. Mata, how you doing? Matrix, I hope you're doing well. Chalk Chick, hello. Sharon Butler. So you're speaking to Sister Khadijah. You say, I get it. There are some things that are particular certain groups of people. For example, Jim Crow laws apply to Black people. So specific laws were needed to help Black people by abolishing Jim Crow laws. So if Kamala was president back then, she is saying she would not do anything to help Black people get from under Jim Crow laws. You know what? I'm gonna have to write that because that's pretty gangster right there.
And see, and I just want to end with this with you guys. We're very factual. A lot of Black wealth has been taken. They're continuing to take Black wealth. How do they take Black wealth? If gas prices are going up, that's a direct tax in your pocket. If your rent is going up, that's a direct tax in your pocket. The government ain't giving you any incentive money to make up a difference. When your insurance rates go up and all your cable, I just got my cable bill. It went up $3. How do they know I got the money? Dimitri, you said that a couple weeks ago. How do they know you can afford having the money? Now you're criminalizing a person who doesn't have the resources to pay their insurance, and now they're running around with no insurance on their car. Now they're going to take your car because I guess a lot of municipalities tow when you don't have insurance, right? This is how they're taking our wealth as Black people. If you are cool with that, okay, in this system, we are at the bottom of the economic system. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Nobody could refute that. As a group of people, Black people are at the bottom. The Hispanics are just a little bit above us, but we're at the bottom. Illegal immigration affects Black people more than any other group. And if you are for this administration and Kamala Harris, I need you to change, go get that African bleach butter soap and start scrubbing that on your skin, because it is asinine for you to support something that is so detrimental to your own people. If you have kids, they have no chance. The next generation of kids, if you have grandkids, I would have grandkids at this age, they will have no political voice, because in less than 4 years, 13 million people, mostly of Hispanic background, have come into this country. 13 million. We can't produce that amount of numbers in the same amount of time. Our grandchildren, our legacies will have no voice in this country. And if you're cool with that, then you go to hell on and vote for Kamala Harris. That's all I got to say about it.
Somebody want me to I'm putting my email in the chat. It's DimitraK@gmail.com. So Joey, yeah, these are the only comments that I'm seeing. So I don't know. Sometimes YouTube, if you're saying certain words, they won't let them come up. So it's not me. As I said at the beginning, I don't delete any comments unless it's just something crazy. Praying for Alicia. How you doing? It says some people will always drink the Kool-Aid and vote for their own demise. The border being wide open, all those lost children, they have traffic. No demo rat deserves a vote of confidence. Yeah, I mean, you know, they say it was Trump that had the kids in the cages, but it was Obama. Obama, they call him the porter in chief. And those some of the things that he did. It's not it just was, right? Wally says Dr. King says he integrated us. I think he integrated us into a burning house. Yep. And then shortly after that, he was gone. All right. So Uncle G, how you doing? Says, where would we be if we would have elected Cynthia McKinney when she ran for president? Well, you know, and that's a good question. Unfortunately, we have a two-party system. Most of these people like RFK Jr., Cornel West, Jill Stein, and God knows whoever else is running, they can't even get on the ballots. I just saw that New York, they kicked RFK Jr. off the ballot because they said his address was wrong. So, you know, they need to get on the ballot first, right? I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna try to get all the way to the bottom. JD Informant, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Because we're gonna get out of here. In the chat, how you doing? Says, you know, some are talking about voting for Jill Stein. I'm starting to feel like even she wouldn't do anything for Black America. Just Kamala and Donald will not yet, because you know they say they're gonna do something and then they don't. Yeah, y'all going in. Oh my God, it's like yikes. It's a lot of comments in here. I'm grateful. Harold, how you doing?
This is what we love, the conversation. Again, this is the first time, and this is why the Democrats want to limit the internet. The Republicans want to do it too, because we're no longer regional. We're talking as a group across the nation. We're finding out Houston has the same problems as Los Angeles. Atlanta has the same problems as San Francisco. Oakland, look what's going on in Oakland, moving all the Negroes out of there. I mean, we're having the same issues and we're being corralled in certain areas of the United States. And this is what they did not want us to do, which is why a lot of us are waking up, because we realize we have the same exact problems.
Yeah, DJPD, he says, as Rachel Dolezal went to HBCU, does that make her Black people of all races attend HBCUs? You know what? Y'all can be mad at me if you want to. At least Rachel Dolezal was trying to help Black people. What is Kamala doing? The Marriage Cave, how you doing? So you like
and Donovan. Rachel Dolezal has Black children.
And what did she change her name to? Nike something. I mean, Donovan and I actually did a podcast about Rachel Dolezal. We watched the documentary. It was, you know, really interesting. We made some pretty good points. I mean, it's obviously appropriating to be being Black was whack. But if you really like watch and learn of her, it's like, well, she was actually helping Black people. I guess she really thought she was Black, whatever, but she was really helping Black people. She could have just said she was white, right? Because NAACP was founded by her people, you know. Dennis, how you doing? Says Kamala has a silent policy, is open borders and sanctuary cities. Yeah, she's definitely a champion of that. Oh my God, there's so many of y'all in here. I wish I could get to all of your comments, but I cannot. Love you too, Arson. Jules, how you doing? Daryl B. BJ, did I say hello to you? Tech Phoenix, how you doing? Woo! Joey says when she's elected, she will reveal what she isn't, and damn sure it won't be what you think she is. Hey, you said a word right there, but some people want to find out the hard way.
Dimitra, right. Where's Jim Clyburn? We haven't seen him since his boy Joe dropped out.
Maybe he's with Joe. Maybe they're weekends at Bernie's together. You know, maybe they're both. I'm bad.
He has no doubt Black people will show up for democracy and save democracy. I have no doubt they will do that. Because I talk to my granddaughters. Yeah. Fish fry. Sad.
Hot sauce? My favorite one is stop sloganizing. Stop all that sloganizing. Oh, Darth Raider, how you doing? Maximal, how you doing? All right, y'all, we for real. Nona Jones, how you doing? Oh gosh, I wish I could say hello to every last one of y'all, but y'all in this thing deep. Anyway, we'll be back here on Sunday. Donovan, we'll be back here Sunday. Be back here on Sunday. Abdul, how you doing? Says no tangibles, no vote. We'll be back here on Sunday. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Listen, Brother Phil goes on at 7:00, and he is burning up the airwaves with the truth and the information. So y'all must check that out on the African Diaspora News Channel. He also goes live, and he brings the heat. I mean, you're gonna learn so much from watching that. I'm glad that he's doing a nightly live show of all the things. Of course, he's talking about politics and things like that, because he's getting the word out to us as Black Americans. Like, hey, we really need to be thoughtful about what's going on, because we're out of time as Black people. We are out of time.
Real quick, Kamala put up any policies this today at all on her webpage?
Not that I saw. I mean, unless she did it while we were on here. So we'll see. Trucking with Chaos. She says it's really beautiful to see us waking up to the BS out here for real, for real. Yep. Hey, Kelly, how you doing? All right, we're going to get out of here. Love and appreciate it. Every last one of y'all. We will see y'all on Sunday, same time. What else? Same bat channel.
Right. Unless something breaks, you'll see us. Peace.
Yep. Bye.